All right, so this looks a little different. Now I've been running this YouTube channel for the last 4 years out of this 11 by 11 bedroom that I've transformed into my office. And during that time, I have made some changes to this place, but never really to the extent that I've wanted to. So when iVANKY reached out and wanted to sponsor a video about their new Fusion Dock Max 1, I thought this is basically the motivation that I need to get my office done. And so in this video, we are checking out a brand new dock. We're checking out a little bit of what I'm doing behind me. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Let's get started. This all started in the middle of October when it seemed like I wasn't going to be home for an extended period of time. Janice and I went to Switzerland for a week, which was awesome. And about 4 days after, I drove a car from Austin to Portland over the course of 3 days through some awesome roads. Spent a week and a half in Oregon with family, and then finally another week in Maui. Now, this doesn't normally happen, especially back to back. I like spreading my trips out and having some time to relax in between. But in this case, I knew it was going to be a busy time. And in the meantime, keeping up with all of the camera products and all the lenses that are being released is a task on its own. Now, for the longest time when I would travel, I would take Janice's MacBook with me and I would use her laptop to edit stuff on the go. And so I figured it was maybe time to get my own MacBook and edit on that instead of taking hers all the time. And so I picked up this 2023 MacBook Air. This is the 15-inch model. And yes, it's the gold color because it was $250 cheaper than any other color on sale when I purchased it. And it's been a great laptop to use on the go. I like the screen, I like the ergonomics. It's very fast, snappy, easy to work on. And after returning home, I decided I would try to use this little MacBook to edit videos at home. It is faster than my iMac Pro. It gives me some flexibility. I can edit in my living room if I wanted to, or on a plane or at a cafe. But if I'm in this office, which I will probably be for 80 to 90% of my video editing, I want it to be organized, comfortable, and clean. This is where this iVANKY docking station has really changed my workflow. It comes in a very well packaged box. Inside you get the dock itself, a quick start guide, some manuals and warranty info, a power brick, a power cable, HDMI cable, and this interesting dual Thunderbolt cable. And here is the dock itself with a ton of ports front and rear, giving you all of the connectivity you could ever need in one sleek device. There are a couple of really cool things that this dock features that are really beneficial if you are a photographer, videographer, editor, professional, or if you just like really nice things like I do. The first thing is that it supports up to 3 6K displays and 1 4K monitor at the same time. This is the first and the only docking station that supports a quad display MacBook setup. Now, a 4 monitor setup would be pretty epic to pull off, but you need a Mac with the top of the line M1 or M2 or M3, the new one, Max chip. And since I'm not a day trader and don't really need 4 displays, I decided to stick with one good one for the time being. And this isn't top of the line, it's just a nice 32-inch LG 4K display that I'm trying out for this new setup. This allows me to see so much more of the timeline when I'm editing in Premiere Pro, which is awesome. This iVANKY dock is designed specifically for Apple Silicon MacBooks, so if you have an older Intel-based MacBook, this wouldn't work. And using it is simple. I purchased a vertical stand for $12, and all I have to do is plug in this cable to my MacBook, place it here, and I have a nice, easy to edit with desktop setup. Now, why would you want a dock such as this one? The simple answer is connectivity and efficiency. Now, there's nothing more that I hate than having only 2 USB-C ports on a MacBook. This is great and all if you're into minimalism, but it's not very practical because I have 3 printers that I use. I like to connect my SSD card readers. I have a bunch of other accessories, a scanner that I use all the time, and plugging them into a dongle, into another dongle, creating these dongle chains that are annoying is frustrating. This thing is basically 1 power cable and then 1 cable to your computer, and now you have 20 ports for everything from micro SD to regular size SD cards, USB-C ports, regular USB-A ports, Thunderbolt, Ethernet, HDMI, everything you could ever want or need in one simple solution. This dock also has dual Thunderbolt 4 chips, which makes connecting to external storage and high-speed data transfer a breeze. And it's a well-built, good-looking piece of engineering. The entire frame is made out of aluminum, and it's elevated and vented for heat dissipation. You can place it horizontally or vertically, and it's a modern-looking piece of tech that makes my computer-related tasks easier. I've only been using it for the last couple of days, and it's made my editing video process so much simpler. I plug in my SD card, I plug in my micro SD card, which I use to record all of my audio without any sort of converters, and I can easily, very quickly import them to my timeline in Premiere and get going. It's been a great addition to my overall setup. And with it, I can edit my videos in super high resolution on a large screen with plenty of real estate, and I'm not missing anything. I also plugged in all of my other accessories that I use for various other things. Again, I mentioned my 3 printers. There's a lot of stuff here, and I still have plenty of flexibility for expansion and so much more if I do decide to add other accessories or additional screens in the future. And I think if you are a content creator, a video editor, a photographer, really the performance that you get for your money with something like this MacBook is unparalleled. But the problem with doing serious editing on a MacBook has always been really 2 things. Number 1, screen real estate, and number 2 is ports. This dock solves both of those things. You can connect a bunch of monitors to it. It supports high-speed connections. It has all of the card slots that you could ever want in a nicely built modern enclosure. For me, it's an easy recommendation if you have a silicon MacBook and you are looking to extend your desktop experience and improve your workflow. And now that I have a little bit of this whole setup figured out, I've moved on to, as you can see again, remodeling some of this office and doing some painting on the walls, doing some weird tiles, and then these wood flats. And before you guys go and say that I copied anyone else, I'm Sydney Diongzen. I actually bought these wood slats from Home Depot, I kid you not, 7 months ago, if not longer. They have been sitting in the corner of this room, like I would be looking at them right now if they weren't up on the wall. And I've been meaning to do this project forever, but I didn't. Yeah, I'm glad that they are up. I still need to figure out a lot of the lighting stuff, where to put my sound panels. I'm going to be tweaking and changing this behind me a lot, but if you guys have recommendations, leave those down in the comments as well. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. If you want to upgrade and elevate your MacBook creativity, definitely check out the link down below for this dock, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.